have your check. Hello, random YouTube people. Today we're going to be installing a BakFlip MX4 tonneau cover onto the back of this F150. This particular F150 is a 2008 with a 6.7 inch bed. In the box itself, you should have the tonneau cover itself, the two guardrails that go along the edge of the bed on the left and the right side. You'll have 6 C-clamps for mounting the rails, and that will take a number 14 metric size socket or a 9/16 should do the trick for these bolts. You'll have a bulkhead seal, and this is to go along the top of your bed frame. Now for these bulkhead seals, if you have a spray-in liner like I do, you'll need these. And if you have a painted frame, you'll also need to use this. Now if you have one of those plastic liners that go up over the tailgate, you should not need to use one of these. You'll also get 3 cab bumpers, and these will make sure that the tonneau cover does not rest up against the glass. You'll also get all the necessary hardware, such as the washers and the bolts and the star nuts. You'll also get these little buckles. This is to help strap down your tonneau cover if you have it open and not closed all the way. I'll show you that. And last, you'll get some drain hoses. This will help keep water out of your bed. Now the tools that you're really going to need is just a Phillips screwdriver, some scissors to trim up the bulkhead seal when you get to that point, and then some channel locks are nice where it can hold the rail piece in on the side of the bed here, so you can really do this DIY all by yourself. When we get to the point of needing to run the drain hose, we'll have to drill a hole through this little plug, but since I have a spray-on liner, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that out very easy. I may have to cut it out with a utility knife before I drill the hole. It should just be a little teeny hole the size of your hose is all. The first step we're going to do is put the bulkhead seal on. We're going to put it on the bed frame right here, and we're going to get it closest to the inside of the bed here. And now, of course, it's pretty obvious the adhesive part goes down. And if you got one like mine, mine's a little janky. It didn't really come in great quality. So if I don't like this, or if I have leaks in the future, I may have to replace this with a brand new one, but I'm going to go with the one that it gave me. We'll see how it goes. Now you're just going to trim the excess off. Next, we are going to put on the side rails. So in my package, they are pretty clearly marked R, meaning right. That's when you're looking from the tailgate to the cab. This is the right side. So I'm putting the right on the right side. You'll also notice that here are the prop rods, but these are attached to mine in this case. And then there's a little, if I can slide it all the way down, a little prop rod locker piece. And I'm told that these are really notorious for breaking, so be very careful with these. Now when you're installing this silver piece is going to go towards the front, towards the cab, and it's going to roll up like this, and your railing is going to drop on the side of your bed like this. So this is flat, horizontal, and it just sits up here. This is where the channel locks will come into play. Where you can just clip underneath right here to hold it into place. So you can do this one-handed. You're also going to want to make sure your railing is slid all the way to the front or towards the cab. Next comes the part where you install the C-clamps onto your rail. These will of course have a 9/16 socket. And I like to start with the one in the very middle, and then I'll do the towards the cab and then the tailgate at the end. And you'll have to note that you might need to be pushing down on the rail just so that this stays watertight while you're putting the clamps on. Now from an underneath angle, you can see where the railing meets the side rails of your bed. And then these clamps just clip right up there, just like this little channel lock is, just like this. And then just tighten it down. Now, it's kind of ugly having the bolt in, but it's going to be pretty much impossible to spin that nut and make it secure. With the space behind it, there's really no space here. So your nut's going to have to face you. So just putting this dead center, and I'm going to tighten this down and repeat the process for by the cab and the side by the tailgate. Now by the time you get to the back, you can see that there's quite a lot of up and down movement over here. So when you're tightening the last C-clamp at the tailgate side, you're going to want to make sure you've pushed down on this firm so that you get a nice watertight seal. Now just repeat the same process for the other side. Next, you're going to want to lift the tonneau cover itself up onto the railing and let it sit on top of this silver piece. When you open it up, you'll see that there is a flap that goes forward. So this is where this flips forward to here. So you're going to want to keep that in mind when you're lifting this up. It should just set onto the rails nice and easy. And you can flip that piece forward. About like that. So then you can start to, you can hear it lock into place. You can start to undo tonneau cover. And you'll be able to see if it fits to length. Now you can see I folded the cover back up. We're going to work on this front hinge panel up here. We need to install the bracket for the clip to attach to when the cover's in this position so that the cover stays where it's supposed to be. And you can see too, when you're not using it, you can clip it back into the one that's already installed. So in your packaging, you're going to get a clip, and there's going to be these, I don't know what these are called, these little bolts, if you will, that go from the other side, and then it's just a simple Phillips screw that attaches them together. Now I'm going to take the clip and line it up with the holes, and then run these little bolts, I'll call them, from the other side. And then you're going to take your Phillips screwdriver and line it up. And you're going to want to make sure that the opening of this clip is facing the tailgate. Otherwise, that's how it clips in like this. Can you see that? We don't want the opening to be on the other side. So, opening facing the tailgate. Let's get this all screwed together. Now for the other side, I'm going to drop that pin in. All right, tight but not too tight. Now let's do the other side. Now we're going to attach the cover to the rails we installed earlier. If you remember, there's a steel plate under here, and this attaches to that steel plate. So in the kit, you're going to have a large elevator bolt that has a flat top, then some washers, and then a star knob. So you're going to drop the elevator bolt through the hole from the top. Make sure it's nice and flush. And then we attach everything else underneath. Now my kit came with 2 rubber washers for each side. So I'm going to put one above the screw and one below, which means I need to lift up that quarter panel and put this in there and then drop it back down. Just like so. So now we go rubber washer, then steel washer, then lock washer. Then we're going to take our star nut thing and twist it all together. I'm not going to do it too tight because we might need to slide the cover back and forth to get it into the right place. But we'll repeat the same for the other side. Now I'm going to slowly drop the panels and make sure they're lined up on both sides. The locking mechanism should be going past this part of the railing. So let's see how it goes. Good. So it should just clip into place. This piece is popping out a little bit. Let me get a mallet and knock it back in. So yeah, be careful about these clips in the middle of these panels. Mine was popping out a little bit. Hopefully that's not a problem and we're all good. Now when you set this last panel, you should have very little gap between the here and the back, maybe a 1/4 of an inch or so, or less. That'll tell us if we need to scoot the panel further forward or further backward. A little further back. There you go. That should do it. There we go, that'll work. So now that it's all installed, I just need to tighten up those bolts in the front. And the next step is to run the drain hoses. Now at the front of your bed, behind your cab, is a little plug. This is plastic, but I have a spray-on bed liner and they've covered this. So I'm gonna have to cut this out a little bit. But then we're gonna drill a hole on the side, and then we're gonna run a drain plug from this port right here down out the tailgate, or out the back of the bed here, and do the same on the other side. Now that I've drilled a hole through these little plastic plugs, I'm just gonna put them back in. Connect one end of the tube to the drain hose fitting from the Tonneau cover. And then wrap that right out the hole. Just like that. And repeat for the other side. We're nearly done. We just need to put these strips on the back of the Tonneau cover so it doesn't rub up against the glass and the paint of the truck. So you need to put one in this F150, one in the middle, and then two on the sides. Just got to examine where it comes in contact when it's fully shut. So we're up here towards the top. I'm going to put that directly in the middle. Really not going to need it on this other side, to be honest. Thinking I might just put them right here, because then the point of contact is right here in the middle. So I think I'm just going to put mine right here in the center. Decided to put two here in the center, and I'm going to cut this in half and put one on each side over here. As you can see how when it's at this level of open, you can use these clips to secure it in place. Like this, and on the other side. And then if you open it all the way, you're going to use these down rods, and we can adjust these. All right, so it looks like you pull these all the way up, and then this just pushes the Tonneau cover forward and leaves it forward. So. And that's all there is to it. Now it's time to start enjoying this truck. Can't tell you how long I've waited for a Tonneau cover. I've owned a truck for about 10 years. This is my first Tonneau cover. And the MX4 is going to be a great addition. I'm very excited. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.